If I were starting today on my indie publishing career, these are the 4 things I would do right now. Before I ever wrote a word, these things would be happening. I am Emily B. Riddle, and I am a romance author who is indie publishing, and I am so excited to give you these 4 pretty simple tips on how to get started in your indie publishing journey. I know, journey, but it's a journey. So let's embrace it together, shall we? There's 4 things. I think they're equally important. So this isn't a best to worst or least to greatest. I'm really going to say I think all 4 of these things are fairly easy to start, and they're going to make a difference if you do them now. So number 1, dig in reading the genre that you want to write. I write romance. I read a lot of traditionally published romance before I ever got into indie publishing. I knew that genre very well in the trad world, but I did not know the indie romance world at all. And I think I would have made far fewer mistakes and been offering my readers more of what they wanted earlier if I had known. I rewrote my first book entirely because initially it was written in 3rd person. I went back and put it in 1st person. I think I would have known to dig in more with the dual POV that's very popular in indie romance and not as popular in traditional romance. Now, you might not write romance. You don't need to write romance for this to matter for you. I think what matters is it's great to understand what you love in traditional publishing, but if you're going to indie publish, you want to read indie. So find the indie authors in the genre that you want to write, that you enjoy, take notes, what about it works for you, and just really dig in and see what readers are loving by being one of those. Number 2. And this one is actually not easy, for me at least. I hear myself saying they're all easy. This one is it's not easy for me. But we're going to do it. You're going to do it. I wish I had done this sooner. Share your work. You need to put your words in places where other people get to read them. It will make it so much easier as you're actually writing a novel and getting it ready to publish, because so many eyes, even in the indie world, will probably look at your book before you ever put it in the world. And you want a lot of eyes on your work. Like, you want people to read what you write. Otherwise, why would we publish these things? We wouldn't publish. So even when it's tough, I think it really matters that you put your words out in the world for public consumption. An author I love, she writes more memoir essays, Shauna Nyquist. She had a great quote. Well, it wasn't a quote. It was something she was saying at the time, but I have held on to it. She was being interviewed for a podcast, and she said, "I wish I had been less precious with my words." Same, sis. I wish I had been less precious with my words. So be bold, be brave in a way that I wasn't. Ways we can do that would be start a newsletter, hop on Substack. I'm not an affiliate for them, but that's where my newsletter is. You can subscribe. I'll drop it below. And it's a great place to be. You're seeing a lot of other writers on here. It's a free platform. Put your words out there. So Substack, social media, there's lots of sites for fiction. If you want to just put free fiction out in the world at whatever state that it happens to be in, and let some people consume it and see what they think about it. Those are great ways to start sharing your work. If you have friends who you feel comfortable sharing with, share with them. But don't be precious. In the words of Shauna, don't be precious with your writing. Number 3, it kind of piggybacks onto number 2. They're buddies. 2 and 3 are friendly here. Start your social media accounts now. Now, I would not say start all of the social media accounts unless you are young or have tons of energy, or, I don't know, you thrive in that environment. And if you do, more power to you. That's excellent. I think pick the one you like being on. Pick the one you really enjoy to be on. And I feel like I've heard this maybe from like Jen DePaula, who's a great marketing follow. She's here on YouTube. I will link her below as well. But someone has said this, to get the one that you like and do it there. That did not come out the way I meant for it to. Pick a social media you enjoy using and then go beyond that platform. Even right now, before you write a word or as you get started, and it will feel silly, like I have no book to sell. Why would I be on here? Because it's way more fun to talk to people when you're not selling them things. That's why. It really is a better time when you can just be on here saying, here's a book I just read that I loved. Here's a Pinterest board that I have created with people who are inspiring my characters. Here are albums. Here are artists I'm listening to while I work. What are you reading these days? These are really basic get to know you questions, and they're so helpful when you're finding readers and connecting with any kind of audience. If you start now, you'll be in a really good spot by the time you're ready to put your book into the world. So I would say pick one. You don't have to do all of them. At some point, you'll need to branch out, but right now, just pick one you like and get on it. Last one, number 4, maybe the easiest, but can feel the most awkward. Make friends in your genre. Make friends in your genre. And I will tell you, this can even piggyback onto number 2 and 3, because here's the deal. One of the greatest ways you can make friends is to start reading people and enjoying them in your genre. So let's say you want to write cozy mystery and you want to publish as an indie author. So you're going to find other cozy mysteries from indie authors and read them. And then when you enjoy them, go follow that author's account. Let them know how much you liked their work. Give them a follow. Talk about their books on your social media accounts from a genuine place. I do think it can get weird. So you want to come into this as a real human person who's a reader and loves reading other work in your same field, in your same genre. But friendships blossom out of this. I have had several lovely friendly acquaintances to friendships. I mean, some of these friendships of mine have passed into like, we just message each other. I know your real name and not your author name. Like, we're buddies. We don't know each other in real life because we don't live anywhere close to each other. But the magic of the internet makes it pretty easy to make friends. So go find the people you enjoy. That was tip 1. You're reading in your genre. Number 2, you're putting some words out there. Number 3, on your social media account. And number 4, you can use that to make friends by talking about the people you're enjoying reading. It's actually a really smooth system. I didn't plan this. It just flowed from one to the next, one to the other. But those are my tips right there. If we're going to start writing with the intention to publish, these are 4 things we're going to start right now. I did not do these things. Or I did them, but I didn't do them with gusto. But if you put those 4 tips together, I really think you're going to be in a fantastic position by the time you have some book ready that you want to put out in the world. You're going to feel a little more confident, a little more sure of yourself, a little more ready to go and tackle this new thing. So if you have questions, I want you to drop them below. Let's discuss. Let's talk about how you can do this and do it well. If you'd like to have some kind of credibility for me as far as my writing, these are my books right here. This will be the first one you to start with. First Comes Love. I write sweet romantic comedy. These first 3 books I have, they all have different couples, and they're all written from a single point of view, the woman's point of view, and they're going to follow women, main characters who are 35 and over, and maybe living a life along the lines of what you're used to living. So I like to think of it as like swoony yet believable romance. You can find all of those at links below. To Amazon, I'll put them here. And you can follow me on Substack and Instagram. Totally free to do that and just see if, check me out. Do I know what I'm talking about when I'm posting these videos? I mean, I want to say like 60% of the time, I definitely do. But I'd love to hear what you're working on. I'd love to hear if you're going to tackle one of these, 2 of these, 3, all of them. Tell me below and let's have some good conversation about becoming indie authors and how we're going to put our best, little feet forward. So, thank you so much for being here.